Previously on Balls.
Jono!
Hey, John Paul here.
Oh, sorry, I phoned Paul. Oh, sorry. We thought we were phoning Jonathan Captain, but we were scheduled to phone you anyway afterwards. So, Paul Treu, how's it going?
Yes. I'm good, thanks for yourself.
Yeah, all right, thank you. I was going to say, you didn't sound like Jono. You didn't sound like you're busy refereeing Stormers practice at the moment. So, yeah. Hey, listen, PGA clap.
Yes.
Yeah, congratulations, Paul. Finally one in the bag this year. And as we were saying to Kyle a couple of days ago, you know, when you get to go to these places that no other rugby teams go to, if you're going to win a tournament, win it in Vegas.
Yeah, no, I think Vegas is becoming a special place for us. You know, it seems like we're finding our luck in Vegas. But yeah, we were in a similar situation, I think, 2 years ago as well. And we've lost to France in the quarterfinal in Wellington, and then moved on to Vegas, and we won it for the first time. And this year we did exactly the same. So there must be something in there. Maybe it's the altitude. I don't know.
The desert climate of Vegas. Yeah. All right, now, so we were just saying the celebrations afterwards. Did anyone end up getting married in one of those Elvis chapels and coming home with a new bride?
Well, we've lost our physio in Wellington, so he didn't even make it to Vegas. And some of our players, they almost got lucky towards the end. You know, we had to look after them. But yeah. But
Paul, you're violating the one rule of Vegas, man.
Yeah, what goes
in Vegas
stays in Vegas.
Stays in Vegas.
Yeah, you got to just say no comment.
And then goes on Facebook.
No. Our guys are quite behaved, so they're too sweet.
Awesome. Now listen, I mean, you guys had you had your sort of critics creeping around on social media, particularly, you know, when I think it was the tournament before that, I think it was Wellington or wherever it was, where guys were saying, you know, there's something wrong, what's going on with our sevens, need to do something. So I mean, this is vindication. Our sevens is still healthy, and I think Kyle summed it up perfectly by saying it's a kind of game. It's the kind of thing where it's like T20 cricket, you know. One little mistake can cost you a tournament, as opposed to, you know, you don't have time like the 15-man game where if you make a mistake or two, you can still come back and recapture and win a game. Yeah, one mistake can cost you a game. So, you know, it literally comes down to that.
I mean, we've seen it in our first game against Samoa in Wellington. I mean, we were 10-0 up, and we made a mistake after halftime, and you know, it cost us 7 points. And then we made another mistake in unforced error, and there was another try. So 2 mistakes, you know, 14 points down, and it's not just playing against the big teams, even playing against the smaller teams like Spain. We've seen it over the weekend as well. I mean, England losing to Spain, in Samoa, and Fiji losing to Scotland. So it's just the nature of sevens nowadays. You know, just don't get any more easy games.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and that was also a point that was driven home. Is there's a much bigger pool of teams that can beat other teams, and the so-called minnow teams, who aren't really minnow teams anymore, they're just waiting for the big boys, as Carl was saying. They're just waiting for the big boys to to have an off day or just sort of ease off, and they're going to take them.
I think, you know, towards the World Cup also in June in Moscow, and also we're going to see it becoming even worse towards the Olympics in 2016. These teams are only going to become better. And also, I mean, they're fighting for survival as well, because the bottom 3 teams will play a promotion relegation tournament, you know, so they're really hoping to stay part of the circuit. They're investing a lot of money into it, you know, to keep the programs alive. So obviously, I mean, every time they're going to come out, you know, they want to be competitive. They want to show the rest of the world that they can play sevens, and they are competitive. And then they belong at that stage. So yeah, it's tough, you know. Nowadays, sevens is not, you know, putting a team together and you go to a tournament and then you can expect to win. I mean, I think we've seen it from New Zealand as well. Just chatting to them, to their coaches afterwards, you know, they also told their players. I mean, it was a big learning curve for them as well, because they just thought, you know, they can walk up and they can win a tournament, and yeah, what a big eye opener for them, and we put 40 points on them.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, fantastic performance, and I mean, it was a big turnaround from previous tournament. Or was there anything specific that you did differently or said to the guys, or was it business as usual? Just, you know, putting faith in the guys to know that they're going to put it together at some stage.
I think that's the funny part of this whole Vegas tournament, because we did nothing differently to compare to the other tournaments and to what we've done, even when we started the season way back in September, like our pre-season coming into the Gold Coast Sevens. We've even cut our field trainings to only 2. We only practiced on the Tuesday and the Thursday. Obviously, it was quite a bit of a travel. So there was nothing special that we've done, but the things that we did speak about, was the unforced errors, our lack of focus at times, crucial stages of the games, and our discipline at the breakdown, and obviously our first time tackling. And we said to the guys, if we fix our focus, so we deny other teams their opportunities to attack and to score tries, and if we fix our discipline at the breakdown, our defense will become a lot more solid because we can have more players on their feet, and the players bought into that. So it was small changes, but nothing major.
Yeah. Well, there it is. I mean, that's basically it. So, where does it leave you guys in the series now? Where are you guys currently in that series? You're lying second, right, behind New Zealand.
We're lying second. I think we're about 23 points, behind them. It's going to be very difficult to catch up. But I think at this stage, because and like your first comment that you've made about the people giving us a hard time, and it's fully justified. I mean, because we did so poorly in Wellington. I mean, we did poorly in Dubai, and this was the first tournament that we've won in almost like 21 months. So. You can only expect your supporters and the public, to be patient and loyal, for so long. So the win couldn't have come, at a better time. And hopefully, this is the guys a lot of confidence, a lot of belief, and hopefully this will lay the foundation for us, for the rest of the season.
Awesome. Well, another place I'd love to see you guys go and win is Hong Kong. That's coming up. What's next though? Which is the next one? Is Hong Kong the next one? Eh?
Yeah.
There is Hong Kong, and that is the tournament that we've never won in the past. I almost don't want to say it.
So what was the first, Paul? Yeah, well, there we go. I mean, that's one to go and target. I mean, you guys take momentum with you now as well, and it's not just momentum, but the fact that, as you said, you've got the New Zealand guys now thinking second. They can't just rock up and expect to beat you guys. So you can take that with you as well now.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think what people don't even know is that this final, we only had 10 players because Philip Snyman was concussed in Siabelos and Natla also had an arm injury, so we only had 3 replacements. And also, the fact that we had so many new players, in Siabelos is only 19, Jason Colby is only 19, Justin Geduld got injured in Wellington is only 19, Chochon Bhavani is 20. This is some young players, and I think the future of Springbok Sevens is really looking bright, and we're really building, obviously we would like to win a series, but also building for the future, and especially towards the Olympics in 2016.
Awesome. Well, listen, good luck for Hong Kong.
And Paul, any idea when Carl will be back?
Carl, I think he's probably going to be, return to train date is almost like in June. I doubt it if his fitness is going to be up there because he will almost like have to learn how to walk again on that foot. Sure. But yeah, I think I don't think he's going to make it, for the World Cup. So it's pretty much, the start of the season again for the 2013-2014 season.
Yes. Oh, shame, man.
Well, listen, you always have our support here at Balls Radio. We'll stay in touch and keep following you guys on the Seven Circus. And we'll be chatting to you as we lead up to Hong Kong, and then obviously, hopefully, get some of that success there. Well, hopefully it does come this year for our Sevens team.
No, thank you, Darren. Nice talking to you guys.
All the best, Paul. Chat to you again soon. Cheers, man.
Paul.
Cheers, Dave.
Bye. There we go. That's Paul Treu, the Sevens coach.
This is Balls Visual Radio. Darren, Simon, Kate, and John. Weekdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central African Time. Balls.co.za